Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a review on our little Austrack Tanami X15-B.
Now we want to say right from the get-go, we're not professionals. This is our first caravan, so we'll only be sharing with you our experience and our personal opinions on the matter, the problems we found and the things that we really love about the Austrack. And at the end we'll give a bit of a review and let you know if we think it's worth buying or if we think it's a dud.
Yeah, yep. So we'll start off with probably
the cons.
The cons, do you reckon?
Yeah, let's start off with the bad stuff, and then we'll move into the good stuff.
Yep.
And we'll go from there.
Alright, so first off, we're going to start with our little fridge slide outside there. Yeah. So when you pull it out, it's over time, it's slowly, what would you call it, creeping backwards.
Yeah, it's moved back. So
yeah, at first we could pull it all the way open. You could access both sides of the fridge.
Yeah.
Now we got the fridge with the van.
Yeah.
So it's actually fits perfectly in the spot.
Yeah, 120 litre fridge. It works really well in there. Yeah. But you just can't access both doors easily now. So what we've got is our fridge side. We have to pull the cupboard all the way off.
Yeah.
In order to access it. Yeah. Which can be a pain.
Especially when you've got a baby in your arms.
Yeah, especially, because you don't have two hands to do it with. But
it is doable though. Like we're coping pretty well with it.
Yeah. And the other thing we'd like to say is a lot of the negatives we have here, or the cons, are actually just little niggly
minor
things.
Yeah,
very
minor. Yeah.
That don't really matter as such, but when you're paying out as much money as you are for a brand new van, they can get on your nerves a little bit.
Yeah, and you want things to be right, I guess. But anyways, next one on the list is our door. So when the door is open, you can have the screen, the fly screen shut.
Yep.
But the door itself doesn't go all the way back because you've got storage there, so it sticks out straight or on a bit of an angle into the awning space.
Yeah. Again, this isn't a massive problem.
No.
It's not something that's like a deal breaker. It's just something that we've noticed. All you have to do is close the door.
Yeah, and majority of the time we do have it closed. Like, it's only on nice days where there's nice flow of wind and all that sort of stuff that we sort of keep it open. And I mean, it's really not that bad, but it just gets a little bit annoying sometimes. It does. Yeah. Our water tank level, the gauges on it, when we first got the van, they were upside down.
They weren't upside down, they were sideways. So basically it was all good at the start and they were working fine. And then probably the second or third day we had them, the water level was reading full, then empty, then full, then completely empty, and that was within the first 5 minutes.
Oh, you'd do dishes. You'd just do a load of dishes and it'd read empty.
Yeah. So we went on to the Facebook group, and they gave us the idea of maybe the sensors have come loose, and sure enough they had, and they were up sideways. Yep. So it's honestly just two spanners. Undo it. They say pull them out and give them a wipe over, but honestly you can just turn them down if it's brand new, and it's no issue. They've worked perfectly since then. Yeah,
they've been really good. So the battery charger is only a 30 amp battery charger on this, so when we're running the Jenny to charge up those batteries, it does take quite a while still. Whereas you could have a bit more what's the word, like
you could have more amperage on your battery charger. Like a slightly larger battery charger would definitely work better. We will say that it saves a lot of fuel on the generator because it just idles. Like
it doesn't go up unless you're running your aircon or whatever. But
and generally we won't run the generator unless either we have to or we're doing something else with it, whether that be editing videos, washing, playing on the Xbox, whatever it may be. But generally we're doing something else with the generator, otherwise it's just idling and it's not really doing anything except for charging the van. Again, we'll do it if we need to. Yeah,
especially if we're in a shady spot, but we tend to try and get as much sun and solar power as we can.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we first got the van,
it wasn't first. So
a little bit after, about a month.
It was probably about after the first month or two. the shower started leaking.
Yeah, and we were getting water all through the bottom of our storage on this side of the van. So where the shower is, towards the front, because the van was angled a bit that way, it was all running straight through the bottom of our storage.
So anyway, all it ended up being was the shower drain.
Silicone.
The entire thing had moved over slightly.
Yeah.
Obviously not being tightened down enough, whatever it may be. And the silicone wasn't enough around the side, and it was leaking up underneath the floor of the shower and leaking through the entire van. We just siliconed it up, and it was no issue. We couldn't adjust it any further. It was like it was self-tightened, or because it had moved, it had become tighter. But yeah, we just siliconed it up again, and it was no issue whatsoever.
No, it was all good. The only other thing that we have realised is if you face the shower head towards the mixer, it does leak as well. So you've got like those little grey panels on there. The screws on them are actually loose in ours, and it leaks water back this way through the van. So
yeah, if you face the
at the wall, towards the mixer.
Yeah, so if you have the shower running, and which I mean most of the time you won't. I can't even remember the circumstances.
I was shaving my legs, and I was having the water we were connected to town water, so I had it running, and I had it faced towards the wall so that I didn't have it on me. And
that's right. And I was outside, and I just seen water running everywhere throughout. So it was just coming straight out.
But anyways, that's little things.
The next one it's very much personal, and I know we've seen one other person have trouble with this.
But nobody else. Everybody else has had very positive comments about it. So maybe we just got a bit of a dud. But
anyway, so aircon was leaking.
Yes, sorry. Okay, so Austrack have recently changed back. Sorry, let me try that again. So the aircon, Austrack have recently changed over to My Coolman. They used to have Dometic in them, which they were going really well. But obviously My Coolman's a bit of a cheaper alternative to the Dometic.
Yeah, I think so. Not exactly sure on what it is, but the My Coolman, when we picked it up, went really hard and there was no issues.
Hang on. People pulling in.
We had to do this in the busiest spot. Anyway, aircon was leaking. And only when we turned it off, so it would start making a water noise
sound,
and then if we turned it off to see what was going on, it would leak, like all out the vents, the control panel. It's like literally as we started recording this, someone decided to pull up and set up
right in front of us,
even though there's like 800 kilometers worth of dam for them to go. And
we did choose the busiest little spot in WA.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways.
It is.
So we're getting that fixed under warranty though. So Austrack have been absolutely great with that. It's taken a little bit longer because we've been a little bit difficult with it as well. We didn't know whether we were heading to Queensland earlier than we are. So we've sort of been backwards and forwards, but they've sorted out. They're just replacing the whole system for us. So we'll get that done very shortly.
Yep. That's happening this month.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yep. End of this month. The automatic step. Now,
we don't have an automatic step. What
not
do you mean?
Anymore. It sits a bit low.
We don't.
Off-roading.
I don't think we have any close-up video of it, but you'll see what it looks like now, which is. Jagger, shush it.
There's another dog outside, and Jagger wants to go play.
Yeah. So anyway, it's sat a bit low, off-roading, on our Cervantes episode. Brute force will do it. Anyway, there's a step. It's a bit munted.
Yeah.
Jagger.
It's okay, my boy.
Shh. It's okay.
It's okay.
So anyway, forward driving on our Cervantes episode, coming out of the track, it got torn off.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely mangled. We ended up just going and buying a double step from Anaconda.
Yeah. That's awesome, that thing. But
we knew about it. We knew it was going to happen.
Like, we did get warned.
Yeah, we got warned that it sits low. We had a look at it. It's the lowest part of the van. But we just want to mention that as a con, because some people may not know about it or may not see that it could happen. And all that did was catch a branch and it was gone. It ripped right off.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, if you're worried about it, I definitely suggest just taking the step off first. Because once they're bent, they can be a bit of a pain
to get off.
As you'll see, I'll put some footage in here of me trying to get it off. We made it really short in the Cervantes episode, but we were on the side of the track there for a good
45 minutes.
45 minutes. More, just trying to undo 6 bolts.
But if you're not going and doing those crazy tracks that we do, and you're not at risk of ripping it off, it's absolutely awesome. So easy. Open the door, press the button, it's out. Press the button again, it's in. You know.
It's also very heavy though.
It is quite heavy.
Once we took it off, it was like, this has got a fair bit of weight to it. Our new step weighs next to nothing. So it was honestly, it was a forced improvement, but it was an improvement nonetheless.
All right, so the next one is a bit of a point that Dylan brought up, was the awning quality.
Yeah, so
personal thoughts on this, because
Jagger, I'm making a video. Shush, buddy. Love you, but just shush. Shh. You're fine. You don't need to be friends with everyone. Good boy. Anyway, I think a lot of people have had issues with this awning. The quality of it is... it's average. Like, it stretches so easy.
It does stretch.
Ours is stretched. We've only had it for 6 months. Yeah, we use it and abuse it. Don't get me wrong, but it's so stretched. It is...
would that happen with any awning, though?
Oh, possibly. Like, again, this is our personal... We don't know. Like, it could happen that way. I'm not sure. But from looking at other caravans around, they don't have stretched awnings.
No, true.
But this one's stretched so easily. I mean... and we've used anti-flap kits the whole time we've owned it.
Tied down every time.
Which is another bad point about the awning. The anti-flap kit is a prick to put in.
It is a bit. But I think that's a bit to do with where we've positioned, like, the little brackets, to be honest. I think we just didn't really know where, like, it came with no instructions.
That's the thing, though. It couldn't go over any further.
Yeah, true.
Like, where I put the brackets is as far over as they can go to the outside. And that's the issue, is that you can't get the awning into the anti-flap because it's too close. Like, you can't, it's all skew-if, and it doesn't work very well. So yeah, awning has caused a bit of a problem for us. We'll probably look at getting a new one when this one dies completely. I have loved that it's automatic. And that's one of the... I think that's one of the positives that we'll bring up later, because setup is quite easy apart from the anti-flap. Anyways, that's all right. So this was my point. USB points on our 240 volt. What are they called? Electrical outlets.
Electrical outlets. So they've got, on the electrical outlets, they've got 2 normal plugs. 240 plugs.
Then they've got 2 USBs.
And a C.
A USB-C.
But you can't use the USB or the C unless you've got your inverter on. Or you connect it to shore power. So, which is okay, don't get me wrong, but you don't have many options. You've got your USB plug in your light. And you've got a wireless charger next to the bed, but they're a bit of a bitch to line up. Well, that's another negative that we didn't realize. The wireless chargers in these, they're a fancy addition, but they're useless. They are. You've got to have it on the perfect angle, and you can't knock it, and they're right there next to the bed, so even if your sheet knocks it. That's where I keep my water bottle. It's a water bottle charger. But anyways, that's okay. It is what it is. But we would like to see, so we looked in previous models, and there was 12 volt Siggy socket chargers with USB that just run off the Siggy socket next to the bed there. And with this version, there's not. And this is the most up-to-date version. This is the most current. This is the 2024, end of 2024 model. So it's very disappointing that they've gone away from the 12 volt and to 240 only. But especially when you do so much off-grid. Like they promote it as an off-grid camper. So anyways, drying rack versus cupboard. So we've got over where the sink is outside with the outdoor kitchen. You can't open the spice rack cupboard without having the drying rack folded down. So there's got to be a bit of a method there. Again,
this is an annoyance. It's not so much a deal breaker, but it
not at all.
is annoying as
if you've got all your stuff drying there, and you are now maybe trying to cook, or you're trying to get something from the spice rack cupboard,
like we keep our cups in there.
Yeah, you can't open it up fully, so you got to sort of reach in awkwardly. So you got to have that drying rack free almost at all times, or you've got to have your spice rack open at all times.
Honestly, I prefer that. I prefer to keep the drying rack. I have a thing with drying racks. I hate them. I use it to put the dishes on, and then they get dried by hand.
Straight away.
Yeah. Em loves to just leave them. They can dry overnight.
They air dry.
No, they can't. They get dried by hand.
I'm a little bit lazy like that.
Put it in the cupboard. But anyway, that's a marital issue.
Yes,
not a...
Yeah. The next one, kitchen. Oh, the kitchen open. So basically, when you pull your kitchen out, you've got a big open gap. We have talked about this in a previous episode when we had a possum visit us under our bed. So,
or a number. Number?
Number, maybe? Oh, bandicoot?
Bandicoot. It was a bandicoot. We also had a huntsman get in there.
Yeah, we've had
multiple spiders get in through there.
Yeah, so it's completely open. So basically, if you don't want anything getting into your van, you need to open and close it constantly, which isn't that easy because you've got all your gas lines and your grey water hoses,
which aren't hooked up. You've got to pull them out and hook them up to the exterior of the van.
Yeah.
So if you were to go close it, you'd have to crawl on the ground, unhook them every time you wanted to close it. And I mean, maybe it's us because we don't use the inside kitchen.
Maybe.
But I'd say a majority of people use the outside kitchen, and it is a pain. There are fixes for it.
Yeah.
People have used MDF, fly mesh, all sorts of stuff to do it. Pool noodles.
Everything, but we haven't bothered yet.
It's on my list.
Yeah, we've got a list about this long.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Never ends.
The rear latch for the bed. So we haven't actually shown this in any videos because it's very frustrating. But
the left-hand side latch for where the back wall folds out is just self-destructed, and it did it on the Mundale. So it was while we were forward driving pretty heavily.
Heavy stuff. Yeah.
It still latches, but unlatching is a problem, and you can
give
see
it a good reef.
Yeah, you can see, and I'll put the video in here, but you can see where it's all split apart and open because I've had to reef on it that many times to pull the thing down.
Not sure if it's a warranty thing. Probably is, but it's just not worth it. Like, it still all works and everything. It's just a bit frustrating. And because we live in our van, we want to limit the amount of time that we have to send this thing back in.
Yeah,
for repairs. So
hotels are very expensive, and then kennels for Jagger, and
that's it.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're getting off subject there. Solar panels. So they
work.
They work, but they're not as good as they can be.
So just for reference, I've got 2 King's 200 watt solar panels on the roof of the Cruiser, which you'll see in our DIY episode. I'll put them on. They give us more charge or more amperage than
the 600 watts combined on here.
Yeah, that's right. And that's if the Cruiser's in less sun than this. So the solar panels leave a bit to be desired on the roof. They are very slim and streamlined, and they're quite sturdy. I mean, I've been up there to wash them a few times, and they're quite sturdy.
But they could be better.
They could be better for charging. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So the fans, our little fans, they're sort of...
This is a sore subject for Em, because Em's put it up on the Austrack page, and people have been like giving us crap. Giving Em crap.
So people think that I don't know how to use them, and look, fair enough, there's a few people out there that probably don't really know how to use them, but just to be clear, I do. I know they've got timers, and I know they've got speeds. So we don't touch the timers on them, because if they're on because it's hot. Yeah. So these, they're sort of they're Siroccos, but the off-brand to them. So
yeah.
And what's been happening is you put them on, doesn't matter what speed, and they'll just start flashing and turn off.
Randomly. And most of the time it's the bunks.
Yeah, they could run though. They could run for days. Sometimes we're parked up and they just constantly run just to try and keep it cool in here. But then you'll have a day where it'll run for 10 minutes and turn off, or it'll run for an hour and turn off. Like, it's just sporadic.
Just before the comments start too, we don't mean to say that fans keep the van cool. We put them up against the windows to pull air through. Yeah. That's what M means by keeping it cool. We know that they're not air conditioners.
Yeah.
I'll point that out.
Yeah, a bit of a sore subject there. But anyways, bolts loose at handover.
Oh, yeah. So we read about this again on the Facebook page, the Austrack Tanami Facebook page, and we checked them. We took a torque wrench, 19mm socket, 19mm spanner. If you're getting a Austrack, do not forget to take those to handover, because every 100 kilometres you need to check them.
Yeah.
That is the wheel nuts, which are 19mm.
The hitch?
I can't remember the exact torque spec. I feel like it was the torque. The hitch might have been 94 or 95.
We'll put it up on the screen when we do our video.
Absolutely. But the hitch and the wheels, for probably the first 200 Ks, so 2 times I'd done the wheels and they had come loose. Mm-hmm. So definitely check them. And the hitch was like for the first 1,000 kilometres. We were checking it every 100 Ks and, you know, torquing them back up, and they just kept coming loose. They're all good now.
Yeah.
So definitely take a torque wrench with you.
We do still check them before we move most of the time. We're doing tyre pressures and stuff. It's just a good habit to be in.
What else have we got here?
The bed.
Oh, this is a fat person problem.
Yeah, it probably is. But for the first couple of months that we were in here, we both started getting a bit of a sore back, Dylan especially. And you'll see that on previous episodes. He actually went to a chiropractor to see if he could get a bit of help with it.
Turns out it was the bed.
Yeah, we ended up getting a eggshell.
Well, the problem first is because of where the bed folds.
Yeah.
I am at the perfect height where my butt sits in one of those folds, whether I'm laying on my side, my back, whatever. Yeah. And anyway, because of that angle, it was it was doing my back in. Yeah. M didn't have such a problem because she's got a slightly shorter torso and longer legs, so she sort of fit above that fold fairly easily. And anyway, the way we fixed it was we got a
foam eggshell topper, mattress topper thing.
And that solved all of
It's been great. It actually makes the bed so comfy. I don't really want to get out of it.
It's almost better than our mattress back at home, which was like a very expensive mattress.
It was, again, not a deal breaker with the bed.
No, also I think you can get one from Clark Rubber that's meant to be really good as well. Yeah. And a whole new mattress. But just another thing to think definitely about. A con.
Yeah. The overall weight of the van, she's very heavy. It's not a light van.
No. And this will go into the subject we're going to have later, which is whether this van is right for you. The van is... You are sitting right up on 3 ton without water in it. It's heavy, very heavy. Yeah. So that is once you have stuff in it. And it might be the bunks, maybe the L versions and stuff like that don't have the same problem, but the bunks are heavy and very front heavy.
Yeah, yeah. So when you do get the van, they don't supply grey water hoses or your drinking water hoses.
Well, they do. The grey water hose that they supply, though...
Oh, it melts if you put hot stuff down it. So it's
like, honestly, grey water hose that comes with the outdoor sink, just...
Get rid of it.
Dump it, go to Anaconda BCF.
Get a good one.
Get a good one and be done with it. Don't think that you can go with that one. Also, it's very short, and you'll make the same mistake I did, which is trying to hook it up somewhere and accidentally put it inside the hole of the kitchen hole that we spoke about earlier.
Literally the first night we slept in the van, by the way.
Yeah. and spaghetti bog juice all the way through the...
It was great. It was so good. Yeah. At 10 p.m. at night, mind you.
Yeah, and so obviously they don't, like, as per normal, they don't supply water hoses or anything, but that's pretty standard, I think. Yeah. One thing I will say, though, as a con that we don't have on here is actually the water tanks. When you first pick up the van, taste like crap, but I'm pretty sure that's an industry standard. We had to run tank cleaner through it a couple of times, and it come good, but yeah, the first couple of days, everything tasted like plastic coffee, plastic spaghetti bog.
It was so
everything.
Good. Okay, so the fold-out bench that we sit our Weber on, it's strong enough.
Minimal. This is a minimal problem,
it really
and the last
is,
of our cons. Like, we're nitpicking at this point.
We are. So it's strong enough to hold our Weber, which is absolutely awesome, but it's on an angle.
And it has been since we bought it.
Yeah.
Like,
you try and cook eggs on it, forget about it, because your eggs are rolled off. Like.
Yeah, or like potato bake or whatever. You're trying to cook a roast in there.
Yeah, it's all
the
balance,
juices. Yeah. We fixed that pretty easy with a set of door stops from Bunnings.
Yep.
But it is on an angle, which, you know, again, you're paying 70 grand for a van. You want it to be, you know, level and correct.
Yeah, that's right.
In our opinion. But that is all the negatives we have, and again, very nitpicky.
Yeah.
And we're not professionals.
They're not majors. I mean, there's a couple in there that you may personally think, you know, well, they're quite major to us, but to us, they're not. They're, you know, all of that stuff there is very, very minor for us.
Yeah. And again, like, you're buying this van for a reason, which we'll get into later. And if it's to buy a perfect van that's super comfortable and easy to set up straight away, just walk in the door, probably not the van for you. But we'll get into that a bit later.
Yeah.
Right now, let's go to the pros, because as much as the cons may be nitpicky, the pros are really good, I think.
I just want to...
This is a...
cut for a second.
Alright.
On to the pros.
The amount of storage,
Oh.
first of all. And this is a reason that we went with the Austrack. Because
Probably our main reason.
the main reason. It really is. Like, we apart from the build quality compared to the other Chinese vans, similar vans, we won't name all of the ones that we went to visit, but all of the big names we went to go see. And for price point and storage, the Austrack just...
There are Chinese brands out there that are a lot more expensive and probably a lot better built, but for the price, like Dylan said...
it's... The storage in this... Get back to the subject.
I'm sorry.
Storage. Sorry, that was my fault, not hers, but I'm going to blame her. The storage in this thing, there is so much. I mean, when we were looking, the reason I said that when we were looking is because we knew we were moving our whole lives into this van.
15-foot van.
15-foot van. 18 foot if you fold it out, I guess. But anyway, the storage just only takes 15
It's absolutely awesome. And we're still moving stuff around here and there just to try and make it work and get the weight right and all that sort of stuff.
The weight's the big one.
It is.
Just trying to get the weight right, especially... And it depends on whether we have one tank full, two tanks full, no water.
That's right.
It's all over the place because they, you know, the tanks are.
I will say though, the storage at the front of the van, as in the bunks, is quite hard to get to. It is
hard to get to, but the fact that it's even there
is awesome.
And I mean, we don't store anything in there that we go get to much
daily.
And when the girls are a bit older,
they'll be able to get it for us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Freya can now. But,
true.
But, the storage in this van is absolutely awesome. There is plentiful. There are so many cupboards inside. We each have our own, like, big drawer.
Yeah.
Em has two. And a cupboard.
You also have two.
Do I? One.
You have that one and this one. And I have that one and that one.
Yeah, I get a little cupboard. A little slot beside the bed.
It's actually quite big.
It is. It's really deep. The storage beside the bed is just an awesome addition as well. Anyway, storage in this thing. We'll do a fast little video run through.
And we might just count how many times we've said storage.
102. But yeah, storage, absolute beast of a storage van.
Yeah. Off-road capability. Now, this has been we've tested it. We're still going to continue testing it. We haven't done everything that we want to with it yet, but what we have done, man, it's been good.
Yeah, absolutely. Despite the weight of the van, which obviously we mentioned with the cons, like this thing just creams through everything. I mean, the suspension itself, I think it's like F.A.D.E, but it's branded as OzTough.
Yeah.
Either way, whatever brand it may be, that suspension absolutely eats up every bit of terrain we throw it at.
Yeah, so good.
As well as like the those scrub bars.
Oh man,
they can take a hit.
They've saved quite a few things now.
Yeah.
Not the step.
The step. No. But those scrub bars have taken a beating, and they just keep on giving. The approach angle and the clearance too.
Yeah.
Like everything's tucked up under. I think the water tanks do sit a little bit lower, but they've also got like a
cover on.
An aluminium cover. It might be steel. I haven't really checked, but they've got a cover on them. But everything else is tucked up above the chassis.
Yeah. Nothing
hangs down, and it's
good.
It's absolutely awesome.
Really good.
We haven't hit anything except for the step.
Yeah.
And the scrub bars, which
are
meant
to be
a couple of
sticks here and there, but yeah.
Absolutely, but for off-road capability, I cannot fault this van.
No.
It honestly, a lot of the time, it feels like we're just pulling around a very heavy camper trailer.
The overall height of the van is awesome, and that's another reason we did go for this type of van. So, Austrack obviously offer your full height vans as well.
Yeah, which is called the Gib.
Yeah, the Gib. But we went for the pop-top version so that we could keep that height down, and the Tanami is just awesome. I think the Madigan is also...
I think it's lower, isn't it?
Might be lower again, but...
We're not Austrack experts, but...
No.
Anyway, the van doesn't sit much higher than the ute does already.
Yeah.
Which means that we can gauge the height. The only part that sticks up, obviously, aircon.
Yeah.
But we've not found anything we couldn't really get through height-wise.
From what I can see, though, this My Coolman aircon unit does sit lower than the Dometics did.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, not 100% sure, don't quote me on it, but I think it does sit a bit more streamlined, which is quite good.
But yeah, the height of the Tanami compared to the Gib, and a lot of the other like vans out there that we've seen, obviously we talk to a lot of people with these type of vans, just as you do in general conversation, and there's always a lot taller. They have a lot less pop top.
Yeah.
So anyway, the height is absolutely awesome for off-roading.
Yeah. One of my favourites is having the electric roof, the electric awning, and when we did have it, the electric step. So having that electric roof, having the 4 pops at the top, the 4 latches to pop off, and then you literally just press a button and it goes up. So it's so good, especially having a bub, travelling with a bub, because normally when we pull up, she's ready to get out of the car, something chronic. So being able to just pop that roof up nice and quick, being able to get in here, get her settled, it's so good. It
also means that we don't have to empty everything out of the van before we pop the roof up, so we don't have to go crouching down and popping it up manually. It's just a press of a button. And we will say that there is a manual wind down.
Yeah, if it does fail. And that was the other thing we did check before we got it, because we go to some off-grid places, and if something did fail, we wanted that fail-safe to get away from that place.
If we needed to wind it down and get it
trouble
closed.
with it, the awning, having that electric awning is really helpful as well. It makes things a lot easier. I do like that.
Yeah, setting up is you can do it with one person.
Yeah.
We generally do it with 2, just make it easier. But when we need to, we do it with one person.
Yeah.
It's really easy to set up without any issues. The electric awning is awesome. Just the canvas side of it, so I'm not very pleased with. But
the next one's yours.
The next one's mine. Yes, the kitchens. So the stovetops in particular. I mean, they're Dometic. They go really hard, like, even in the wind. We do really well. It's not very often that we actually have to put that
the wind cover
the wind guard up.
Yeah.
I mean, we just keep the Weber on there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's no.
The ones inside are great. They're also Dometic.
Yeah.
So overall, kitchen, both inside and out, is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, again, we don't use the inside one much, but I think we did like twice.
When we were on the beach, so at Cervantes we had to use it inside, but the wind was bad.
it was very bad. It was weird to pull the awning in. We had to pack everything up because the wind was just, and it was sandblasting everything. Yeah, but the kitchens on the Austrack, both in and out, all together, great. Really There's a good amount of room.
Easy to clean. Yeah. Easy enough to clean.
Easy enough to clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, pink stuff.
Yeah, pink stuff. That stuff's really good.
Yeah.
So the next one is the lighting with the van.
Both inside and out.
Awesome, absolutely awesome. So at the moment we've got our little LED strips on while we're filming this.
Yeah.
We've also got a little dome light on.
But there's like extra lighting up the back. There's
another light there. We've got two little lights next to the bed. The bunks both have a light each for them. There's a light in the bathroom. I mean, the list goes on. Outside, you can dim them. You can have them bright.
Yeah, they've got that orange setting on the dimming that has like, so it attracts less bugs, which works really well. I wasn't expecting it to work as well as it does.
Yeah. On the lighting subject, I also really like that you can have a light on the other side of the van as well.
Yeah. You don't use it often, but when you need it, it is really nice.
There's one on the rear too, isn't there?
There is one on the rear. It doesn't do much when it's open.
Yeah.
But there is one on the rear if you need it. I've used that maybe once or twice.
Yeah, but really good.
Yeah.
On that lighting subject, all of the cupboards also have automatic lights. So as soon as you open,
cupboards,
all the exterior cupboards. Once you pop that door open, the light will come on. It's got a little sensor in it. You do have to have lamps turned on inside, we figured out, but awesome. It means you can see everything.
And also, when you turn all your lights off inside at night, you can tell when you've left the cupboard open outside, which happens quite often.
Yeah, it's very bright. Anyways, next point is airflow. This thing has awesome airflow.
The amount of windows in it.
It's just so good. Even on a really hot day, yes, it gets quite warm in here.
Yeah.
But look, if you open everything up,
flick the fans on.
Get that air flowing.
If they stay running.
It's really good, yeah.
But yeah, the airflow is absolutely amazing. We do wish there was a window at the front.
Yeah,
because that'd be nice to get some airflow through there. There is one up the top. But there's not one at the very front, which makes sense because that's where the storage cupboards are.
Yeah, the bunk sizes, man, they're so good, especially the bottom bunk.
Yeah.
So it's basically a king single size.
Yeah, king single size at the bottom and a single size at the top.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
They're so long.
I mean, we use the single bunk up the top for storage most of the time, except when we have Freya, obviously. Yeah. In which case all of that stuff goes outside and just goes under the van, and then Freya sleeps up the top there. But it's super comfortable. Like, as an adult laying in those beds, I mean, Em climbs in that bottom bunk every night.
Put Amity to bed, or majority nights to put Amity to bed.
Yeah. The shower.
Yeah.
The shower is another awesome point. Like, that thing has so much pressure.
Goes so hard.
It's like having a shower in a normal thing. The only bad part about that is how much water you use. We turn it on just to crack because
when we're off grid anyway.
When we're off grid, yeah, because it'll pump through the water. But it is like having a shower at home.
So nice.
Yeah.
And I do like that it's got both levels, so you can have it down on the lower level. And it doesn't sort of touch your head sort of area. It sort of just gets the perfect, that's probably a height thing, but you can also have it up high, which means I can wash my hair without having to lift off the thing, and it's really good.
I don't think I've used that top thing once.
No, you probably haven't, no.
Don't have to wash my hair.
No.
But yeah, and the room in there, coming from FIFO, we're used to having quite small showers.
Yeah.
This thing's quite roomy, and
and even having that shower curtain there is really good. I mean, that can also be tucked up and away, and it's really good, really good.
It is. The whole system in there, like the sink there right next to the toilet and everything else.
It's great.
Except for where the toilet paper sits.
It does get wet.
It does get wet if you don't move it, but that's not even a con. That's just move the toilet paper. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Next point is an overall accessories of the van. So, like your creature comforts. And this was another big thing for us when we were looking at all the vans.
Yeah.
Austrack do an absolutely awesome job of just making it feel homely in a 15-foot van. You've got, from brand new standard. You get towel racks on your door for your shower.
And inside the shower, although we use them for toilet paper.
Yeah.
There's towel racks inside the shower.
Yeah, it's like a hand rack.
Like a hand towel rack.
The chopping board outside, I love it.
Yeah.
It is so good. It does get a little bit grotty underneath if you don't sort of
pull it out and clean
enough.
it. Yeah.
But look, absolutely awesome how it's sunk into the thing. It doesn't sit up, doesn't get in the way.
Yeah.
Awesome, absolutely awesome.
Oh, new to the 2024 model, I think it's like the third version or whatever, is the sink. Inside sink is massive. I mean, for the first sort of 4 months we were in the van, only just recently stopped it, but Amity was bathing in the sink because it's so deep.
So big.
So big.
Yeah.
Now we barely use it.
No, yeah, we don't even touch it really.
But even just for like storing stuff in there while you're travelling.
Yeah.
There's so much room in there. It is a large sink. It is good.
Not to forget as well, the cover on it is actually doubles for a chopping board.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Yeah, and it actually gives you a lot of space to work with on the inside kitchen when you need to.
Yeah.
I mean, you can store cooking ingredients in the sink while you're using the top as your general like work surface and having the cooker right next to it. So we never had any issue with cooking inside, even though it's a small bench.
Yeah.
Just because of that extra room. So.
Yeah. Yep.
But we've already mentioned the kitchens.
Solar panel hookup. Yeah. So obviously having those solar panels on the roof, they do struggle sometimes. We actually have another solar panel. We take a fold out one, and Austrack supply from Standard
a direct battery hookup.
Anderson plug hookup right behind the rear tyre, and it goes straight to the batteries. So that just pumps solar power straight into the batteries, and it's really helpful.
Yeah, which definitely helps. I mean, when we're in a sunny location, it means that we don't have to run the generator ever.
Yeah.
As long as we're not running the inverter all day, like on the beach, it'll just keep charging and without any issues. I mean, when we were on the beach, even that day that we did run the inverter all day, we didn't have any issues whatsoever.
Didn't have any issues. Overall water capacity is awesome. So you get two 120 litre water tanks, so a combined mass of 240 litres.
Yeah. Which is an awesome amount. It really is. As long as you're careful with your showers.
Yeah.
That 240 litres will, that'll last you.
It's each their own how long it'll actually last, but it can last.
Not us, because we like our showers. We shower like a lot. We don't like to stink. So we generally carry about 500 litres of water plus.
Which is a lot. But with a baby, you kind of need it.
Yeah, definitely.
The power management system, the Red Arc power management system, that is awesome.
Absolutely.
It helps so much.
Just being able to keep track of what you're charging and look through your history, so you can see, I think it's up to 7 days, you can see back.
Yeah.
You can see what your charge was yesterday compared to today, how many watts you got in total. You can see how long till full, how long till empty. It'll even tell you where you're charging from. So the Red Arc power management system is premium. We love it.
Would not change that.
No.
At all. Anyways, that's it for the accessories basically. The next one is the dust resistance of this van is pretty good. Considering
when we were buying it, we thought we wanted to put a dust suppression system in.
Yeah.
Now, Austrack don't do that from factory. They do have someone who will do it.
Yeah.
But it's an after factory sort of after you pick it up modification. What we have noticed is that we really don't need it. I mean, we have been down some dusty roads like for 12 hours of the day sort of thing.
The only time we sort of had a little bit of an issue is when we weren't using the door cover properly.
Yeah, because we're newbies.
That's an us thing. But
the front boxes get a lot of dust in them.
Yeah,
but in the van, they got holes for the gas.
Yeah.
But the interior of the van, every now and then you might get a little bit in. We get more dust when we're parked up.
Yeah, because we always have our windows open.
Yeah.
We like to be quite open, so.
Yeah.
She tows really well.
Yeah.
Now that we've had an alignment on it.
And that's something that we'll definitely suggest.
Yeah.
Is that if you're buying one of these Geta wheel alignment.
Yeah.
We waited for the first 1,000. After the first 1,000 and the first service, we went and got a wheel alignment done. And now.
Tows like a dream.
Tows
really.
like a dream. Just make sure that your weights are set up properly. Don't assume because it's towing bad that it's the van. Make sure your weights are set up properly. But
so the next one, the hot water system goes
hot water.
so hard. That thing heats up water so quick. I mean, you've only got, is it 15 litres?
I think it's 15 litres.
Anyways, whatever it is. But basically, you've got your electric or your gas, and both of them go so hard. They're awesome. And one of our last points, I actually do have another one to add to this, but after this. So the rear wheel carriers, Austrack have just changed to these from, they were fold down ones.
Yeah.
They now have two separate like swing out, so they swing out to the sides, and oh my goodness, it's so easy.
Yeah.
And we also find that we can put our rubbish in those bags. So we have rear wheel carriers on there.
Yeah, like dirty bags.
Yeah, sorry. Dirty bags.
We have dirty gear bags on the rear wheels, and because of the way they swing out, it's so much easier. Well, we can chuck our rubbish in there. You don't have to worry about putting it off to the side and loading it up later.
Yeah.
It is so easy. Especially being so close to the kitchen, just go and chuck it in there.
Yeah.
So those are awesome. But also the new ones, we got the last of the dual wheel carriers.
We did, the newer ones. So
in fact, our model was meant to come with a jerry can holder.
Yeah, so one spare wheel and one jerry can holder.
Yeah.
We're very glad we got the dual wheels.
Yeah.
But they've done that for weight saving. Because
the newest upgrades are all for weight saving. I mean, we've got big holes in everything. Obviously, just to save little bits of weight everywhere. They've done a really good job. I'd hate to imagine how much this thing weighed
before all that. Yeah,
but it's definitely helped.
Yes. The one thing I did want to add in was, that we didn't have written down, is the seating inside here. So with the folding bed, yes, the folding bed is frustrating, but obviously you need it to pack up, one. And two, what they've actually done is underneath the rear of the bed here is another seat. So you can have an L seat. We've actually sat in here and had dinner quite a few times if the mozzies are too bad, or if it's too cold, too hot, whatever. And all four of us would be able to fit here quite easy. We haven't done it with Freya yet, but Amity...
Haven't needed to.
No, Amity and us, easy. And quite comfortable. It's not too bad. I mean, you wouldn't want to sit here for hours on end, which Dylan does do.
Editing. Gaming.
I mean, it's not the most uncomfortable, but it's also not the most comfortable.
Yeah.
But they're not designed to be. They're meant to be practical.
Yeah, and they are. They're very practical.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely no issues with the interior.
No.
At all. Now that's it for the pros, but we do have some
discussion points.
Just general discussions, like things that people have had issues with that we know about that we haven't experienced ourselves, or we found a fix to, or just little things that may be good or bad depending on how you see them, and
So discussion points.
The stabilising legs. So a lot of people have had issues with the stabilising legs. We haven't had any issue. I had a nut fall off once.
Yeah.
It took 2 seconds to put it back on.
Yeah. I mean, you do have to be careful. So a lot of people use a rattle gun with them. Obviously, using a rattle gun can wear those, what are the parts called?
The nuts.
Oh, they're the nuts?
Yeah, the nut comes off the back of it, which was our problem. I was using a rattle gun.
We've now changed to a drill, which obviously doesn't have as much power, which is good. Makes it a hell of a lot easier, but it does come with a winding tool. Takes quite a while with that.
Yeah.
But honestly, they've been pretty good. They've got decent sized feet on them. The only time we've had to use something under them was at the beach when it was really soft.
But Cervantes is so soft.
Yeah.
It is ridiculously soft. Anyone who's been there knows that it is. Yeah. Especially, it's really bad.
But having them on that swivel, being able to pull them out and swivel every which way.
We have had that problem with the rear right leg.
Yeah, it doesn't quite... A lot of people do have issues with it. The scrub bar is actually a bit low for it to...
fold up all the way properly. I mean, it does fold up to the last point, but you've got to give it a wiggle and a little tap. to get the pins in. But all in all, we haven't had any issues.
But other people have. So.
Yeah.
The tyres.
Now, we say we're not experts, but tyres...
We had a tyre business before we bought this.
So, tyres in general are... And as a lot of people know, is the more you pay for tyres, generally the better quality you're going to get. The tyres that come on this are cheap and Chinese.
But pressures are key.
Pressures are key.
Yeah.
So the reason that people are having so many blowouts with them, I mean, yeah, there's going to be bad batches, but there is with BFGs and Mickey Thompsons.
Big names have them as well, yeah.
Anyway, but these good rides, they will not...
Well, they've changed them. Austrack did have different ones on them.
I don't know what they were.
No, I can't remember. We'll have to put that up on the screen.
Anyway, check your pressures and check your tyre temperatures.
Yeah.
When you're driving. Yeah. So carry a laser temperature gun.
Especially with the weight of the van.
Yeah, and check. If you're getting over, 65, 70 degrees, change your pressures. Because you're not running the right pressures. You'll be surprised at how many people will run 40 PSI and think that's enough. Yeah,
well, I was just about to say, if you guys do want some pointers on tyre pressures, please comment, and we're more than happy to...
we reply to every comment.
To let you guys know what we sort of run. I mean...
it's different depending on...
for everyone.
I mean, we probably run... very high pressures compared to a lot of people, because a lot of people won't be carrying the sort of stuff that we carry. We carry our whole lives in the van.
But if you want to know, just comment below for us and we'll let you know.
Absolutely, and yeah, we give you an idea.
Yeah.
Also, in saying that, a lot of tyre places, if you go and ask at a tyre place, they'll tell you 45 or 50 PSI.
But they don't know the weight of the van.
They don't know the weight of the van.
Or what you're carrying.
That's right. Figure it out yourself. Again, temperatures.
Yep.
If they're getting high, change your pressures. It could be too high or it could be too low, but temperature is your friend when it comes to tyres.
Yeah, we actually got a little laser temperature gauge. It's been great.
Yeah.
So it's helped us quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Water pressure in the van. So, really, really great pressure.
Which is bad.
Which can be really bad.
When you're off-grid.
Yeah, you go through the water so quickly. I've seen a lot of people put water saver...
Like reducers
in the shower especially, but even the indoor taps, if you flick them on, and they're very easy to flick on quickly, you'll use
so much
of water.
Yeah, definitely suggest, like when you're washing your hands or whatever it may be,
put a trickle on.
Just learn to crack those taps very, very slightly, or get reducers, because this pump will pump your tanks out.
So it's really good, but really bad. Again, that's why it's a discussion.
It is. When you want that water pressure there, it's absolutely awesome, because I mean, you want to use the last of your water before you leave and wash down the van and wash down the car.
It's good.
Works great.
Well, that's another positive that we didn't bring up.
What's that?
Sorry, guys, but the tap on the front. On the drawbar.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, the tap on the front definitely helps.
Yeah.
Like, it does come with a weird American fitting.
It does a bit, yeah, but...
So you've got to go and find I can't remember the exact name of it. So we had to find a special fitting for it, and then, but now we can connect our tap to it. And
our hose.
Our hose, sorry. Yeah. And, sorry, I was paying attention to Jagger. I thought he was whinging. But yeah, we can connect our hose to it and spray off the car, spray off the van, whatever we need to do, just at the end of the...
It's good.
Yeah.
Really good. So the hitch. Austrack come standard with a Mick hitch, which, look, is...
We haven't used it, so we can't really comment on it, but what we've seen online was that it's not a very good hitch.
Yeah. So it's here or there. Some people have had no issues with it. A lot of people have had issues with it. So what we did was we went straight away and went with a DO35.
Which is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
100% suggest
cannot
it.
fault it.
Yeah.
The only, obviously, thing that was a bit crappy about it at first was the bolts coming loose.
I think that was all just like paint and the fact that it wasn't torqued up when it was put on.
Yeah.
But the people at Austrack, the person that put it on said they didn't have a torque wrench because it kept getting stolen or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, take a torque wrench with you.
Yeah. But that DO35 has been so good, especially off-road, those angles that it gets on and everything like that. And I mean, the ease of hooking up, Dylan does not have to help me. It's very easy. Yeah. As long as I know my left and rights.
Yeah. I mean, generally I'm reversing it on and Em's like winding it down, but it's fairly easy. I mean, it's with a reverse camera, you can do it on your own. You can do it by yourself. Yeah. As long as you don't have a Land Cruiser handbrake.
Yeah,
because they don't stay still.
No.
But anyway, continuing on, the latches.
The latches throughout the van. So the outdoor ones are really good.
They really are. I don't think many people have had issues with the outdoor ones, but the indoor ones, people have posted all over saying that they've had issues.
Yeah, that they come loose or they stop latching properly or whatever.
Now we've had one break off.
That's the one from under the bed there, yeah.
Yeah, so we on a drawer. So and we don't know how it happened, but it happened either way. Every other latch that we've had, we've found that as long as you
doesn't know how to use
magic beer. It just appeared out of nowhere. No, the camera decided it was too hot, so it stopped recording mid-sentence.
Never had that happen.
So don't know where we were, but anyway.
We're at the latches.
We're at the latches.
But we've probably said enough about the latches. So.
Yeah, they're fine. Keep them closed. Make sure you lock them before you stop, because I don't think that bottom drawer was locked properly when it broke.
Most probably not. It was very tight when we first got it. Like, it was quite hard to open and close. Maybe I've broken it at some point, but anyways.
Doesn't matter.
Windows. The windows themselves, awesome. The only issue we've sort of had is bumping our heads. Yeah. Yeah. So the bunk, especially the bunk ones, and
above the fridge and the storage space outside, and now we're both of average height. Yeah. Neither of us are very tall. Neither of us are short, but it's just at that height. I mean, we're 176 and 174 respectively, and that's we're bumping our heads constantly if we're getting too close. Don't know if you can hear that. Some dipshit's got like a remote control.
Yeah, they had it going yesterday afternoon too. It's very loud. But anyways, we'll see.
Hopefully it doesn't come through.
Yeah.
Anyways.
On the windows as well, the fly mesh and the privacy screens. So they are actually really good.
Except for the rear one.
Yeah, except for the rear one. But a lot of people have said this as well. So basically, just what happens is it's so big that it sits right where all your pillows sort of sit, and throughout the night, if you're a bit of a mover in your sleep, your pillows will eventually push it out.
So you need a headboard.
You just need a headboard.
Which Bunnings, there's like a fence topper that we got.
Oh, there's heaps. There's heaps of different things.
Yeah, look on the Facebook page. Can't recommend the Facebook page enough for finding little fixes to all these little problems.
Absolutely awesome, that page. Has helped us heaps. But also on the windows, the fly mesh does catch a lot of dust.
It does. We use a blower and just go and blow it back to the outside. And that tends to work. But I think any fly mesh does that. I mean, it happens on a house.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
so we've talked about the fly mesh and the privacy screens already. The outdoor shower. So the actual shower head we've only used to wash Jagger.
That's Jagger's shower.
Yeah, it's really good for that.
Apart from that, we don't use it.
Nah, so Austrack actually it comes with an outdoor shower,
like a tent thing,
annex awning thing.
Yeah. We just left that back in storage.
Yeah, we just left it at storage because we don't need it.
Yeah, we don't use it. It's nice to have, I guess, but I mean, the distance from the door to the shower is that minimal that I mean, you can step from the door to the shower.
It's that easy to clean the floor that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, one broom stroke.
Yeah.
And it's all done. So anyway, outdoor shower is both a good and a bad point because it's just extra stuff that you don't really need.
Extra weight, yeah.
But it is good to have if, say, you've got a fur baby, or for any given reason you want to wash it outside.
I reckon we'll use it a bit more when Amity gets a bit older, because she's probably going to be that good.
The other reason that I could see it being useful is if you're camping with friends.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? And they got a rooftop tent or whatever, so you don't have to have them in your ensuite,
yeah,
they can go and use the outdoor shower.
That's true.
You know,
yeah,
which is
very true.
Yeah.
The Annex.
On stuff that we don't use.
Yeah. So Austrack have just recently as well updated, not supplying.
Sorry, another car driving past.
Not supplying an annex with their van because majority of people won't actually take it.
Including us.
Yeah, it's, what is it, 40 kilos?
Yeah, I think it's like 40 kilos.
40 kilos to carry around with you, which, look, if you're parking up somewhere for a...
It takes a lot of space too.
Takes a lot of space, takes a lot of putting up, and to be honest, I love the openness of the awning rather
We're both
than
outdoor
the
people.
Yeah.
We love being outdoors. I mean, that's where we spend most of our time. Like, most of the time we won't see the inside of the van all day. It's just to change Amity's nappy or, you know, put on deodorant, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But we spend all of our time outside, and I think an annex would ruin that. Again, that's a personal preference thing.
We would like to one day put it up just to see what it's like.
When we have to stop for work, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Probably put it up just so we have that extra room. But honestly, for what we do, we move once a week at least.
Sometimes twice.
Sometimes twice.
Yeah.
And like the extra effort it would take to put up, plus, you know.
And the weight.
Yeah, it's just not worth it for us. So each to their own on the annex, but we don't see it as a usable thing. Again, Austrack don't supply it with the van from standard anymore. You have to purchase it afterwards. They now supply the anti-flap
with the skirt and the ends. The three outdoor that come off the awning.
Yeah, not saying that's what you'll get when you get yours. Obviously, it seems to change quite a lot with Austrack.
Yeah, I will say one thing: the skirt from the annex we do take with us, and that thing is awesome. Really good. One, stops our little munchkin from getting under the van because she explores under there a lot. Two, stops that sand blast from happening if you're out on the beach. It also does stop a lot of dust, I find. If we're in a windy place and we're in a dust bowl or whatever, wherever we are, it does stop that.
We don't have it up here, but that's just
I don't know.
Don't need it.
No.
Yeah, the other thing that I did want to talk about that a lot of people have had issues with in the past is actually Austrack's after-sale service. Now, a lot of people have had issues, but...
That was early on, though.
Yeah.
I do see now there's a lot more positive comments about Austrack after-sale service.
Yeah, but I just want to give... Like, that was one of the things that almost turned us off Austrack.
Yeah.
And it might do for a lot of other people too, but now the after-sale service is pretty good. I mean, it's a bit slow.
It is a little bit, but there's a hell of a lot of Austracks being bought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, ridiculous amount. But the after-sale service, they really do try everything they can to help you. And I mean, if it's something that you can fix yourself...
They let you do it
yourself.
I like that.
And they'll cover it.
I like that. They'll send you the part. No matter where you are, they'll send you the part to the closest town and you can fix it, depending on what it is. If it's something big and major...
Like the aircon?
Yeah, they'll do it, obviously. But from door latches to normal latches to just everyday sort of mundane things, they will just send you the part and you can do it. So
yeah, I think that's pretty much it for our review. But before we get to whether we think you should buy an Austrack or whether we think it's worth it, just want to say please like and subscribe. We're new to YouTube. We you know, if you like our videos, please let us know, because it gets a bit disheartening sometimes when you put up a YouTube video and you got lots of views and there's like...
You don't really know if you've done well or if it's not any good or...
If we haven't done any good, let us know so we can fix it. Like, neither of us are professionals at this.
No, and look, we're very open. We love to meet people as well, so if you do see us at a caravan park or anywhere
stay away.
Maybe stay away.
No, no, always happy to have a beer, especially with a fellow traveller.
Yeah,
it's absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Now let's get into. Do you think that people should buy an Austrack?
Yeah, I honestly do.
Yeah.
Look, it's maybe. It's hard. It is hard. I think it is worth it. If it's what you want and you know, you are looking at these type of hybrid vans, I think Austrack tick a lot of boxes. There is a few bits and pieces that don't, but I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I love it. I love the Austrack, and if we do it all again, I would buy the Austrack again.
Yeah. In
a heartbeat, even knowing all the problems that we have with it. First of all, the storage, obviously amazing, and the off-road capability.
Yeah.
And that
alone sells it for us.
But that is the big thing. You've got to realise that if you're buying one of these vans, it's a hybrid camper, not a caravan. If you want something super comfy and big and with lots of room, probably don't look at an Austrack, because they aren't for staying in a caravan park. These things are built to take off-road. They're super heavy, but they're super heavy because they're robust.
Yeah.
They're small, but they're small so they can get down tracks and have good turning circles and, you know, get to those places where you wouldn't take a normal caravan, 20-foot caravan, 18-foot caravan, you know, which this obviously folds out to, is 18 foot. We say 15 a lot, but it's 18 once you fold it out. I think that if you're interested in having some luxury while you're out on the beach in Cervantes, going out bush prospecting, whatever it may be, yes, Austrack, absolutely.
And great family space.
Yeah.
Like, but they also offer the Tanami in a couple of different options. So, you know, if you don't have a family and you don't need those bunks, I mean, you know, you can have a big L-shaped lounge at the front. You can, I don't know, we didn't look at all the options because we definitely needed the bunks, but yeah, absolutely awesome. And I mean, they're multiple different sizes as well. I think you can get an 11, a 13 and a 15 in the Tanami, and then the Gib goes up to 16 or 18. 16, I think. Anyway, you've got all these different models and everything. Go down to your local Austrack showroom and have a look.
Yeah,
just have a look. Like, and the customer service at the Austrack showroom, those guys were that under the pump when we were having a look. There was only one, maybe two of them at the time, and we still got great service. Yeah,
they spent the whole time with us, made sure that we understand what we were looking at. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Amity's awake.
There's a baby awake.
Dad.
Hey, baby. I might go get her. She can join in the last bit.
Yeah. Hey, Baba. Wait, look at the camera. What do you think?
Do you like the van? Yeah.
Don't know any different. Anyway, so coming up in the future, we want to do a walkthrough of the van. So this isn't a walkthrough, obviously. No. We want to do a walkthrough, show you our setup. Yeah. That'll be of the van and the car together.
Yeah.
And we'll also do a bit of a mini video or a mini series on the best camping, like the best tips and tricks when you're in a van, any van. Yeah. That we figured out over the last sort of 6 months.
That'll probably include a few tips and tricks to travelling with a baby as well, to be honest.
Yeah, certainly. And a dog.
Yeah.
She's barely awake.
Oh, Jagger's... There's Jagger outside.
You've brought in one child and left the other one outside.
I did.
Unbelievable.
Anyways, we'll probably leave it here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you for your support.
Obviously, if you are watching this, you're probably looking at an Austrack already.
Yeah.
Hope we've helped. Really do.
Yeah. And if you've got any further questions, please feel free to reach out. We're more than happy to help. Yeah.
And subscribe, otherwise we'll come for you. No?
You can't threaten our followers.
Well, they're not followers, are they, until they subscribe? Yeah, I'm not threatening the followers, I'm threatening people that aren't followers.
Anyways, guys, we'll catch you next time, and thank you for watching.
Absolutely. Bye.